to Black Light Mass Incarceration Show. I am your host, Sierra Cobb. Black Light Mass Incarceration Show is a space that is used to uplift the unheard voices of the criminal and social justice issues that many face today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy.
What's going on, Black Light family? Welcome back to another episode. You know, this is the Black Light Mass Incarceration Show, where we shed light on the struggles of those caught in the web of this nasty criminal justice system. And of course, I'm your host, Sierra. And today, you guys, I have a story that I'm going to share, and it's my own personal story. I know a lot of times, when I do episodes, you hear other people's personal stories, but today is the day to hear my personal story and kind of catch up what's been going on with me. Sorry I haven't been as consistent as I was before. There's just been a lot of things going on. So today I want to share with you about the injustice and frustrations and heartbreaks of the carceral system and the things that they do that's just deplorable. So I have been suspended from visits with my husband for a year now based on false accusations, and it has been a long road of fighting and still haven't got the results that I deserve. I was accused of sending contraband in through mail, which is completely false. And like I said, I've been trying to fight to get my name cleared because it is a defamation case. I have not been shown the proof of the accusations that they are accusing me of. And I know there are plenty of people who have experienced this, and I would like to hear you guys' story if you've experienced this, being retaliated against for your advocacy that you do for your loved one that's incarcerated, and how we receive so much hatred from the system by simply advocating for our loved ones behind the walls, and especially for those who have been accused of a crime that they didn't commit, or accused of a crime, based off of trauma, and the toll that it takes not only on the one that's behind bars, but the whole family, and understanding that it's not only your loved one incarcerated, but it's also you, because they were retaliated against you for advocating for them or anybody else that's behind those walls. And it's not fair, because you have to stand up for what's right and you have to fight the good fight. But when you fight that good fight, it also comes with consequences. And that is what I'm currently facing. Could you imagine not being able to see your loved one for an entire year, going on 2? Imagining that you only be able to connect with them through text behind, because we don't have, we can't mail letters in like we used to, or phone calls, or through the tablet, which all those come at a cost. And then, a lot of times there's problems with the phones and issues with tablets. And so that cuts down your communication. And then when you can't personally see them in person, just takes a total different toll on you, on your family, on your marriage, and it's hard. It really has tore me down. I'm strong, and, I do a lot of fighting and exposing the things that they do. And I guess this is their way of trying to shut me down. But it's not. I mean, I can say it has taken a toll. And that's probably why you haven't heard as much episodes as you're used to hearing. And I promise I will get back to that. I'm just fighting my own battles at this moment. And I just could have never, which I don't know why I couldn't imagine this would happen to me, because it happens every day to a lot of us out here. And like I said, I haven't seen my husband in a year, and being falsely accused and violating my prison visitation rules and rights. I was suspended without warning. I didn't even know that I was suspended until I tried to put money on his canteen, and I wasn't able to. And that's when I put two and two together and figured out I was suspended. And, they won't even present the evidence to me. I filed an appeal, got denied, and I was hoping to finally get some clarity and justice, and was denied, of course. And their response is, I can apply again in 12 months. So could you imagine the toll that it's taken on me, the toll it's taken on my husband, children? Like, we all go through this. And I need you guys. Like, I do. I really need you guys to give me some advice of what to do. If you know somebody that's willing to help. I mean, I've tried all my resources, and everything is just falling on deaf ears, and I just need some help. Just straight up honesty, I need some help. I've asked for the test results over and over and over, and that's being used against me to deny me from seeing my husband, and I can't get that. I've been told that they're not for the public, but I'm not the public. I'm the one that you're accusing of doing something that's egregious. You know what I'm saying? Like, sending contraband into a prison is egregious. And, I've been advocating for, 5 years now, since I reconnected with my husband. For y'all that don't know, me and my husband knew each other when we were young as teenagers, and we were together for a while. And then we got separated when he had some situations go on, and he ended up going to a group home. And so we lost contact, and then we finally reconnected in 2019 and got married in 2021 and have been together ever since. So I have, been advocating for him because he is incarcerated for a crime that he did not commit and received a lengthy sentence, while everybody else got a short sentence. And so I just started advocating for him to bring awareness to his case, and just realize that he wasn't the only one going through this, that it's a lot of people out here in America that go through this, as you have seen with the numerous episodes that I have posted, that a lot of people go through this same situation every day, day in and day out. And it's quite sad that people are having to spend time in prison away from their families for something they didn't do, and it takes years to fight to clear their name. And I personally know how that feels now. Not in the sense of being in prison, but I'm basically in a prison. I'm in my own prison at home, where I can't see my husband, and being accused of something that I didn't do, and being denied due process rights, because you still have due process rights. And it's tough, you know. Um I don't know, but I really would like to hear from you guys who have experienced this, and what your thoughts are, and what you did to combat the situation. You know, yeah, it would be great to hear. And so many families go through this nightmare: retaliation, false accusations, and there's no real way to fight back. You know what I mean? Unless you really know how to file a lawsuit. And a lot of us don't know how to do that, because if we did, a lot of us wouldn't be in prison now, or, having to deal with the consequences of being an advocate for our loved one. And the prison system just holds all the power, and they're never held accountable for how they treat people and what they do to families who didn't even do anything. And they just keep breaking us down. They try to keep us quiet to make us give up, so that we won't continue to fight the good fight. And I believe that's why a lot of people don't want to advocate for their loved one, and why the people incarcerated don't want to advocate for themselves, in fear of retaliation of being taken away from their loved one. like I'm having to go through. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying to fight this thing and keep exposing and, just bringing more interviews to bring to the light that this is not a system that we can trust. Never have, never will be. And it's a two-tier justice system, as you see. Plenty of examples out here that you can see that it's a two-tier justice system. If you have money, you can get away with anything. If you don't, you're going to serve time. And that's just how it goes. And I'm sharing my story because I know that I'm not alone, even though I feel like I'm alone. I feel helpless. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm used to helping. I'm used to being the person that helps. When people are in this situation and feel helpless and hopeless, they come to me, and I'm used to, being able to aid them on what to do. And now I'm in that situation, and I feel like I have nobody to help aid me on how to get past this situation and how to fight this thing. And that's why I always say that we have to stand together. We have to band together and let them know that, this is our taxpaying dollar because I'm a taxpayer, and that we're not going to continue to allow them to take our hard earned, especially in this economy, our hard earned tax dollars, and treat us any kind of way, and our loved ones. Like we really have to make some noise, y'all. Like times are changing drastically here in America. And the only way that we're going to get anywhere is to stand up and stand together and demand transparency for our loved ones and for us. Those in power and those working within the prison system, we all deserve answers. We deserve fairness. We deserve to be treated with dignity. Just like y'all want to be treated with dignity, we do too. We're being charged to talk to our loved ones. We're being charged to feed them, and they're not feeding them, nutritious food. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there wasn't a prison, these people wouldn't have jobs. So, my husband is not just an inmate. He's not a number, or, sorry, we don't use inmate, but he's not just an incarcerated individual or a number. He's a person. I'm a person. We have kids that don't deserve to see this type of struggle. We deserve to have fairness. And, he's a person just like I'm a person. And I'm not just a visitor. I'm his wife. I'm his advocate, and I'm his voice. And I will continue to fight for my right to see my husband, and he has the right to have visitation and not to be taken away. And remind you, he didn't even get in trouble. Normally if somebody's sneaking in contraband, that person would be under investigation. None of that happened. And I think that's another reason why they're not trying to give me the test results, because there probably wasn't even a test done. I mean, let's just think about it here. Like, there probably wasn't even a test done, but of course they don't want to admit to their wrongs. They don't want to own up to anything that they did. And yeah, I don't know, you guys. I just don't. I know that this has to change, and we're the only ones that can change it. We're the only ones that can demand things to be different, because if we don't, we're still going to be stuck in the same cycle over and over and over, and we're not going to get anywhere, you know? And I won't stop fighting, and I need for you guys not to stop fighting. I'm not going to back down. I need for you guys not to back down. And, like I said, if you have any legal avenues or advocacy groups or support systems that can help, not only in my situation, but other people's situation, please reach out. Please feel free to reach out to me, so that we could do this thing together. Like, send all your information to me. If you know somebody else that's going through the same situation, I would love to interview them and have them on the show, so that we could get more stories out. That is the purpose of this podcast, is to get people's stories out so they could be heard loud and clear, and that we can understand the system that we're fighting against and the people that we're fighting against, and make them understand that even though our person is incarcerated, they're still human at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see all these stories about correctional officers, doing this, doing that, bringing in contraband themselves, and, they get a slap on the wrist. But then when you falsely accuse somebody of doing it, then they have to suffer, and the person behind the wall has to suffer. And that's not right. It's not. And it just feels like justice is being denied in every avenue with my husband and I with this case. And, now with visitations being suspended for who knows how long. It's just sad. And it's crazy, you guys. So, like I said, this is what my fight has been for the past year, going on 2. And, I've just been trying to figure this thing out on my own, trying to navigate through everyday life, because you still have to get up and go to work and be a mom. And, I'm in school. I'm currently going to school for criminal justice. Hope to graduate with that in the next year or so. And my plans is to go to be a lawyer so that I could be a help to somebody, so that somebody who needs legal help doesn't feel helpless or feel like, they got to come up with this astronomical amount of money to get help. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to help people at a low cost, fight for what's right, because that is the only way to get a one up on the system, is having true attorneys that want to fight such a nasty system. It's nasty. Don't get me wrong. It's nasty, and it's hard to fight, but if you don't fight it, then this is what we're going to continue to go through. And I mean, I don't, I'm just not in the position to say I'm going to lay down to them. That is not what I'm here to do, is to lay down to any cricket system. And, I do believe that we should have a fair justice system, because, there are people who do things who need to be held accountable, but to be tortured and retaliated against that's not something I understand. That's not going to make society better by any means. I know that we've also been having a lot of people inside of our prisons committing suicide. And, that's very alarming, but I see why, because who wants to wake up in an atmosphere the way prison atmosphere is right now? Like, it's so depressing. They try to take your rights away from you. They're constantly just treating you like, you're not worth anything. Like, I think animals, as I've said before, get better treatment than people are incarcerated. So I see why people are wanting to commit suicide, and I don't condone suicide at all. I don't. I've had my own mental health issues and had bouts with suicide myself. But this is the reality that our loved ones deal with every day. Like, we don't know exactly what they deal with mentally. We just have an idea when they tell us bits and pieces of what's going on in there, but really knowing what they go through on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute, hour-to-hour basis, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine what my husband goes through. And I tell him all the time that he is very strong, and that I commend him and adore him for being as strong as he is, when he tells me certain things that he witnesses in prison. And, I've never myself been in prison. I've been in a holding cell, but I've never been in prison. So I couldn't even fathom what he goes through and how he keeps his mind sane, to be there for his children, to be here for me as his wife, and to help us grow our business. You guys know that we have a nonprofit called the Care Bear Foundation. It's been open for a while. We've been trying to get funding so that, we can help people with reentry, so that we can teach people how to advocate for their loved one behind bars, and also teach them some holistic mental health tactics that they could use to keep their mental health together. Because, child, this will tear you to pieces. And if you don't have techniques to help you keep your mind in one piece, it will tear you down. And especially in the society that we live in today, you definitely need those tactics. And so that's what the Care Bear Foundation is for. We're just trying to help any and everybody that we can. This is why we have Black Light Mass Incarceration show, just to spread more attention and awareness, and like I said, let people tell their stories. So today, you guys, you have heard my story. You've heard why I haven't really been as active as I once was. It's been a long road, as I said before. It probably will continue to be a long road. But if you guys know anything about prayer, please keep me and my husband up in your prayers. If, like I said, you have any resources, please reach out to us and let us know. And if you have or know anyone that's experiencing this situation, or any other situation that you have heard on Black Light Mass Incarceration show, please reach out. We would love to have them on our show to continue to spread the awareness. And you guys, I know this is a short episode, but I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in so you're not just wondering what's going on. No, we haven't stopped doing it. We're still doing this thing, and we're going to continue to do it. Um, because that's what we have to do is fight, continue to fight, even when we don't feel like fighting, even when we feel like we're at the lowest of the low. We have to still get up and fight, get knocked down, and get right back up and keep fighting. And that's what I'm doing. So, until the next time, you guys, stay blessed, stay up, keep your head together. And remember, you're not in this alone. There's always somebody that's going through something similar or worse than what you're going through at this current moment. So until the next time, you guys know where to find me. You can email me. I will leave the email address in the description. And yeah, reach out. Take care, Blacklight. Peace.